Hey everyone, and welcome back to my channel. Today I did a really fun video for me. I did a get ready with me for a concert look, so it's going to be my makeup and my outfit. And I did team up with Kimes Ranch jeans for this, so I'm really excited because they're one of my favorite companies, so I think it's really cool. One quick thing before I forget, I am planning on going to the Congress this year to do makeup for the show, obviously. If you guys go over to my Facebook page, it's just horseshowbeauty. If you go on Facebook, I think it's my last post, or it'll be one of my newest posts. It asks what dates you would like me there. Please go and kind of fill out what dates you're going to be there, just so I know. I'm trying to gauge when will be the best week. So if you want your makeup done, go check that out. Otherwise, just keep watching to see how I got this look. So the first thing I'm going to do is prime with the Hourglass Veil Primer. It's my all-time favorite for just long days. If you're going to be sweating, if you just want your makeup to last really well. It actually waterproofs everything you put on top, including foundation, powders, just everything. So I feel like concert makeup's really similar to horse show makeup in the sense that it can be really hot and sweaty and gross, and you just want it to last, you know? Next, I'm going in with my all-time favorite foundation. I just discovered it, and I am telling you, this is the best foundation on the market. It's the Bareminerals Barepro foundation. I just have a sample because I'm waiting for mine to come, but it is so good. Next, I'm going to go in with some concealer. I'm going to mix the Tarte Shape Tape in the Becca Aqua Luminous Perfecting Concealer. I just want to use the Shape Tape to brighten a little bit more because this Becca one's not quite as bright. But the Becca one is a really nice thin consistency, and it gives about a medium coverage. The Tarte is full on, full coverage. And a little tip, I see YouTubers go in and just pack on this Tarte Shape Tape. I have no idea how they get away with it because even these two little dots that I put around, this goes so far. That's all I use on a regular day, but for events I use a little bit more concealer. Do you see that? Holy moly. I'm just blending this out with the Beauty Blender. The Beauty Blender really helps with the Tarte one because it's a little thicker of formula. So it helps to shear it out and give it a little bit more hydration. It's more of a matte concealer, I would say. Now I'm going to set my under eyes with the Cover FX Perfect? That's the real question. Setting powder. And I'm just going to do this under my eyes. This foundation pretty much sets itself on my skin, and I literally have never had a foundation that I don't need to set. I don't know how people get away with that, but this foundation I don't have to set. I have more dry skin, but oily skin I'd still probably say to set it just to be safe. Taking whatever's left on my brush and putting it on my chin, on my nose. By the way, this is a Luxie 660. This is my favorite under eye brush. Next, I'm just going to go ahead and contour my nose with the Milani Contour and Highlight Stick. I love this to contour my nose. I can only contour my nose with creams. And I'm using this on a Royal & Langnickel Precision Angled Brush. Ooh, I want a little hefty on that nose contour. At least it looks slim. Now I'm going to go in with the Becca Shimmering Skin Perfector in Opal. It's the liquid version. I've been super into liquid highlights lately. It just gives you that really pretty wet effect as opposed to sparkly. I'm just going to put that on the tops of my cheekbones and bring it up kind of towards my brow bone. It's so pretty. Then just a little bit on the tip of my nose here. And the bridge. Now to make that highlight more intense, I'm going in with the Becca Champagne Pop. This is just a holiday palette. Look at how low I am. I need to get a full size. I'm just topping off right where I put that. See how intense that is? I love it. If you don't want an intense highlight, just stick with the liquid, and you can even put it under your foundation to make it a little bit less intense. But they are fairly natural, it just depends how much you use. Now I'm going to go ahead and do my eyebrows. I don't usually show this just because it takes me a little while, but I started doing something a little bit new. I like my brows really sculpted, but as you can see, my brow hair is kind of crazy. I have very sparse brows and not very well shaped brows. So I go in with the Hourglass Arch Brow Sculpting Pencil. And this is in the color Platinum Blonde. And then in just the front, I do the Brow Wiz in Dark Brown from Anastasia to get those really tiny, thin, hair-like strokes. So I'll try to show you on this one. First, I just go in and very lightly underline it. And then when I go to overline it, I start kind of where my natural hair is. I don't go all the way in. And then I overline my arch a ton. And I go back in and like make them look thinner with concealer in a second here, but now I'm gonna go in with the Anastasia Brow Wiz, and I like roll it out a little further so I don't have as much pressure, and I hold it way down at the end because it is a dark color. And I just do little strokes upwards. See how feathery they look? Then in the front, I lightly run it through just to give it more like volume. If I just do those strokes, it doesn't have a lot of color to it. It just has those little hair strokes. That's pretty much it. And then I go in and clean it up with concealer. I like it like super sharp underneath and then really feathery up top. Then I just blend that line downwards towards like my eyelashes. And then here's another little trick. I just take what's left on this brush and really lightly go through the front. That helps it to kind of like naturally fade. Then to finish them, I use the clear brow gel from Anastasia, and I use like a hefty coat of this. Okay, so the next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to go in with the Urban Decay Eyeshadow Primer Potion in the color Eden. The reason I'm using this color is because the eye look I'm going to do has a lot of like my lid space showing, and this will help to cancel out any of my like vein or discoloration in my eyelid. Using an eyeshadow primer potion is also going to make your eyeshadows last longer without creasing and make any of the colors a little bit more vibrant than if you just put it on your bare skin. Now for the rest of the eye look, I'm using the Lorac Pro Matte Palette. This is a great little palette to have. It's perfect if you just want to use it at horse shows as like your one palette that you're using, or you can just create a lot of looks. So I'm using the color Bear, and I'm going to sweep that all across my lid just to set that primer so it doesn't grab any of the transition shades and make them really harsh. Next I'm going to take the color Latte. It's just a really like, it's a barely lighter than my, or darker than my skin tone kind of color. I'm going to put this into the crease, a little bit above my crease actually. And I'm not going to bring it too far in. I'm going to stop right about here. Next I'm going to take Corduroy. It's right here. It's just a dark brown on a Morphe R41. Just taking literally one tap and tapping off the excess. I'm going to put this in my outer V and keep it really low. I'm not going to take it up really high because this gets intense really fast. And this is a pretty simple look, but it does take practice, especially depending on what eyeshadows you're using. So practice before your big concert. Taking a little bit more. I tap off as much as I can. Trying to keep it really like sharp on this inner part, and then I'm going to blend out the edges here. I'm going to take a little bit of Latte to help me blend. And just blend the edges here. This is going to give us that cat eye effect without having to do winged eyeliner. Take your time with this. Like seriously, take your time. Barely have any pressure on this brush here. And I just switch between my pencil brush, and this is my favorite brush for crease work. It's the M514. I just ordered 3 more from Morphe because I use it all the time. Now I'm just going to take a little tiny bit of chocolate to add a little bit more depth to the look. Tiny bit. These are so pigmented. For the lower lash line, I basically just take whatever's on my brush and just smudge it on the outer kind of third. Now what I'm going to do is take a little bit of Champagne Pop, that highlighter I use on my cheekbones. Just add it to the highest point of the brow bone. Now I'm going to take a little bit of the Estee Lauder Pure Color Eyeliner in Blackened Cocoa. This little bitty guy. And I'm going to line my lash line. Same with on this lower lash line, just the outer part. Now I'm going to head and curl my lashes. I just do it quick because mine are pretty curled naturally. I do one squeeze towards the root and then one halfway out. Wabam, shazam, kabam. Then I'm taking the Urban Decay Perversion Mascara. I've been using this one a lot lately. I really like the brush because it's soft. The only thing is it does transfer a little bit towards the end of the day up onto my eyelid. But literally every mascara does that to me, except for the MAC Extended Play. I need to start using my Rodan and Fields Lash Serum again because I'm losing my length. I'm just going to put a little bit on my lower lashes just to add some definition. Now to start contouring, I'm going to take a mixture of MAC Sculpt and Shade Stir. More of Sculpt, I think, to start. I'm going to start my contour. Starting up at the temple, up towards my temple at like the top of my ear. I start by just wiggling the product literally into my hairline so that it'll look really natural. You don't want to start like down here because you'll see the difference. You'll see your skin peeking through. Bringing it in towards the corner of my mouth. This is an IT Cosmetics Blush Flawless, I can't ever say blush. Flawless Blush Brush number 227. And then I just kind of like go in circular motions to blend into the highlight. What I like about the mixture of these two colors is that Shade Stir has a little bit of warmth in it, so it kind of almost bronzes the skin, and then Sculpt is a very, let's try this again. I am contouring with the MAC Pro powders. This one is Taupe and this is Sculpt. Mabi. Anyways, what I was saying is Taupe is a very cool tone color, so it's great to add a shadow to your face, mimicking a shadow. You never see a orange shadow. So that's going to be our shadow, and then the Sculpt color has more warmth in it, so it almost bronzes. Now to continue our glowy look, I was kind of going for glowy skin and like a minimal eye look. Taking the Flower Beauty blush in Warm Hibiscus. This stuff is so beautiful. It gives you just a nice kind of glow. It's more of like a blush topper. It doesn't have a ton of pink pigment to it, but I like that. Okay, for lips, I'm going to try something new. I'm going to go in with the L'Oreal Color Rich Matte Lip Liners. These things are so, these are amazing. These are better than a lot of high-end ones that I use. This is number 110, Matte's It. Now I'm going to go in with the new NARS, what do they call these? It's like a liquid lipstick. The Power Matte Lip Pigment in American Woman. I haven't tried this color yet, but this formula is very thin. It's like a watery consistency. I will say I don't like the wand on these because it's like hard and pointy, but yellow. The formula on this is so amazing. It is like water on your lips, and they dry down and they last and they're bomb. I'm just going to put a little tiny bit of Pure Hollywood from Anastasia in the center. I would definitely recommend using liquid lipsticks for concerts just because they're going to last way longer than a normal lipstick. You won't have to worry about reapplying it. So guys, that's the completed look. I really hope you like this. If you want to see more of these kind of get ready with me for event type makeup, let me know down in the comments just so I know, and give this video a thumbs up. If you have not subscribed, don't forget to subscribe so you can see more of these videos. And other than that, I will see you in my next video. Bye guys.